Give it a second. I usually take an honorary drink of water. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Disc Golf Examiner. We have two very special guests tonight. We have Nick and Justin from the Disc Golf Show. I'm going to go ahead and pull them up full screen. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hey. How's it going, guys?
How's it going?
Going pretty well for here. Brian couldn't make it tonight, but I'm going to try to drive the ship and see where it goes.
All right.
One of the things we always like to do on the show is we always like to go back. We like origin stories. You know, we're always interested in. I do like the podcast, and I like the way that you structure it, how you record after you play around. But what I like to know is, you know, how did you get started in the game? What led you to disc golf? Can you remember the first day that you played?
Yeah, absolutely. But
it was
Nick,
a special moment.
Your origin leads into my origin.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So back for my very first job, back when I was 16. I used to work at Togo's, and one of my good friends, I've known him since then, which is an extremely long time if you know how old I am. Real old. He had a few discs, and he used to go out, and he decided to take me out, and my buddy Matt, and we went out once, went out a few times here and there, not like we didn't, because back then it was, I'll just let you know, it was 23 years ago. Yes, I'm 39. So it was our local course, Shady Oaks in Orangevale here with Final Nine store and pro shop. And we went out a few times. They've changed the course over the years, many years. But we just went out, you know, and then it was several years after that I really got more serious into it. It was before I met my wife, before we got married and everything like that. And it got to a point where me and another buddy of mine, really good friend, Travis, we played in a few tournaments. We played in the Steady Ed Memorial in Santa Cruz 2 or 3 years. We played in St. Patty's here. And those are the bigger events, the biggest events we've played in, or I've played in. But yeah, it was a long time ago. I'm glad I did it way back then, because then I had a better idea of it, going into it and getting into it more, when I was still younger, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it's always been there to where I'd go play here and there. I'd go through my stints of playing a lot. When I was playing in the tournaments, it was more like, 3 or 4 times a week. We'd play, but yeah, nowadays it's not as much as I'd like, but I'm still doing something involving disc golf, which is awesome.
Right.
But yeah.
Right. So I would say when did we start the show? Like
almost 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
So right around that time.
it was probably like 6 months prior to that though.
Yeah. Maybe.
I think.
Yeah. I'd been podcasting for, I don't know, maybe 5 years prior to that. Kind of messing around. I had a couple of different shows. All of them sucked. So I'm not going to tell you the names.
They were fun to do at the time. They just didn't end up as well as...
I think I was doing experiments, like how many people can I cram into a room and do a podcast and still be able to talk and be able to understand what we're saying? The answer is less than we had. There's way too many people, too many opinions. But anyways, started playing disc golf and like, man, I really, really, really like this. Nick introduced me to it. He's like, man, just come on out. Like I'd played disc golf before. I'm originally from Seattle, but we didn't it wasn't really disc golf. It was like you bring a frisbee out and you chuck it at a tree because that was what everybody was aiming at, and if you hit it, then you got some points. It wasn't really disc golf.
That's the real origin story of disc golf, though. I mean, let's be honest here.
Right. Me and Ed back in the day discovered this thing. No, but it wasn't really really disc golf. Like when you introduced me to disc golf, it was a course and it had baskets and that was disc golf, right? Your ball golf, but with the disc.
Yep.
And he's like, come on and play. And at first, I'll admit, I thought it was kind of silly. I'm like, whatever. Like we're gonna throw a disc at a basket. Come on. And then I saw Nick throw and went, I can do that. and then I did not. I did not come anywhere close. I'm still not close.
Oh, whatever.
But yeah, it was like the instant competition. But I can throw a frisbee.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you used to play Ultimate.
I used to play Ultimate when I was in high school, but it's it's not the same, and you don't throw the same distance really.
No.
Different goals in that game. But anyways, I could throw a frisbee, but I could not throw a disc from disc golf. But anyways, kind of fell in love with it after that. I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. So every opportunity that we got, on the weekends or whatever, we go out and play. And then eventually the idea kind of hit, I think both of us at the same time, like podcast.
Well,
disc golf.
With
Put them together. It's like peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Yeah, with your background in the podcasting and music, he's got a bunch of music gear.
Yeah.
And he's accumulated a lot of gear over the years.
Over time, yeah.
And he enjoys podcasting. And I've always wanted to do something in podcasting. Right. Or not in podcasting, in disc golf. And so when he brought it up, it was like an immediate, yeah. You're down, I'm down, let's do it.
Why don't we do it?
And James as well.
Yeah,
James as well.
My brother-in-law, because we both kind of at the same time, maybe him like a month after me, got introduced by Nick to the sport, and we're like, oh, so we all three started the show. But you need to plug in your.
Aren't you plugged in? Oh no, I need to plug.
No, you need to plug it in. Yeah. Here's the cord. Technical difficulties right in the middle. His iPhone's about to die.
Uh-oh.
So we're gonna plug that in. Oh no!
Let's not let it fall. Oh
no! That's not gonna work. You know what? You talk for a little bit about how much you love disc golf. I'll go get a longer cord, and we'll do that.
This is how it always is, guys.
Oh, that's awesome. This is the kind of show I like when it's just
this. Well, you can understand the trouble. You can understand the all the back end stuff.
Oh yeah,
Justin. Like I said, Justin's accumulated so much stuff, and he has all the experience in that. And he does a really good job fixing all these things. And it seems like every show there's some little funky tweak he's got to do. But yeah, so when he decided to start the podcast, or when he proposed the idea, I was on board right from the get-go. And the first year was literally audio only. It was just podcast. And then as we got going, he started, we started talking about, creating a YouTube and all that good stuff. And as the years have gone by, we've just tried to add more and more and more options for people to watch. And we always went into it going, we enjoy disc golf. This is just another way we can do something involving disc golf, and we can bring it to people, and whether they want to hear us or not, it's going to be there. And if they don't want to hear us, that's fine. There's plenty of other podcasts such as yourself that can supply good content to people. And when we started, I think there were only like two or three other shows. And video is going to move here probably a little bit.
That's okay.
We wanted, and with Justin, like I said, he's done podcasting before, so he was all about let's set something up. Yeah, there's his finger; he's blocking me. let's set something up where it is structured.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to get something heavier than that. Let's set something up with some structure to it, because none of the other ones that we saw at that time had it. And so when we got that set up and got that kind of lined up for it, that's when we started into doing the show and everything. Are you trying to tilt it a little bit, Justin, with the background work here?
He's nodding. He's actually nodding. Yes, with the phone.
With the phone, right? So do not touch it.
I listened to a ton of episodes, and it seems like you almost always record after you play around.
Yes.
Yes. Is that part of the structure of your show? Is that part of the structure of the original concept?
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is that that not only gets the juices flowing, but it gives you something to jump off of. Is he good?
Oh yeah, you're perfect.
It gives us something to jump off with at the beginning of the show, because usually we experience something that we end up talking about at the beginning of the show, something we experience on the course.
Don't litter on the course.
Yeah, don't litter.
Frustrations.
Absolutely. Keep your dogs leashed. Let smaller groups play through. Whatever may happen at that point.
Nick during his drive. Yeah.
Some really good shot that we end up talking about, how those are the ones that keep you in the game, stuff like that. It's just good to get. Like I said, we always stated that it just gets the juices flowing.
All right, and here's the secret. if we tell the wives it's necessary for the show, we get to play disc golf.
It helps.
Extra 3-4 hours out of the day.
Exactly.
So we end up playing either one of our local mainly. Well, I mean, we have several local courses here, but there's two that we generally play, and that's Shady Oaks in Orangevale, and then the Johnson Springview course in Rockland. Those are our two main courses. Then we try every once in a while, if we can get away from family and everything, to go to, like, we've gone to Napa, we've gone to Santa Cruz, we've gone, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a great structure. You have a little bit of casual information, you have a little bit of industry news, and what's the overall goal? What are you trying to put together in each show?
Right. It's about trying to bring as much information about disc golf all around to the audience, right? So we try not to focus too much on local. I mean, you're going to get some of that because we're local, right? Yeah. We want it to be casual. We want it to be fun. We want people to enjoy the content, but we also want to be kind of informative at the same time. If we get information about something, we want to share it, whether that be about a new, course going in, or, hey, let's talk about that tournament because that was cool. We all watched it, right? Oh, you didn't? Here's what happened. Maybe spark some interest to go watch it,
or like
right?
a fundraising event,
or fundraising.
Those are always
events,
a
stuff like that.
thing
Like
that helps
anything
spread the word
that
about.
we can have on the show to help spread the word of disc golf and grow it as a sport is kind of our motivation. But we want to be entertaining too, so we keep it casual, right? But we also, I don't know if you noticed, but we made a conscious decision not to swear and have adult content on our show, right? And that was kind of
from the beginning.
From the beginning, we didn't.
There was a little bit,
right?
Yeah.
And we got some feedback from some listeners, like, "Hey, I love listening to your show while I'm in the car and driving my kids to school, but you drop the S-bomb. I'm not gonna have that on, right?
Yeah.
That's a responsible parent, and right on. And we're like, well, you know what? How often would that be the case, right? Do we need to have that kind of content on the show? No, we don't. It doesn't distract from what we're trying to bring, which is the message of disc golf, if you will, right? So we made a conscious decision to make it family friendly too, to try to appeal to as wide of an audience as we can.
Well, also, the other thing that you don't see when we do our shows, like, the first Sunday of the month, but when we started this with the social media stuff too, there's a lot of stuff that we try to bring, not only news related, but if you follow us on Facebook or Twitter or whatnot, you'll notice we do usually try on Mondays for like a results for the big events. I used to try to do, it was horrible. I used to try to do a lot more work when it came to like stuff like that. But now it's just, majors, national tour, pro tour, world tour when it comes back or when it was, bigger events that we let people know about, because those are the ones people are going to want to watch if there's live stream, if there's coverage. And then we do upcoming. So we do the outcomes on Mondays after the weekend, sometimes Tuesdays if it's a long weekend, whatnot. But Wednesdays are Wednesdays. So what we do is during the month, we make posts of the first week, we give you the next month's. The second week of the month, we give you 2 months out. That way you're getting, if you are looking to get into playing bigger events, you're going to have ultimately at least 4 months outlook for the future for big events coming up. And whatever news we can provide with it, we supply that. The registration link for it, that's going to be in there. And we post that via our website. And then, like I said, we do it a link via our social media. So it's not just the shows and the daily questions. For 4.5 years, I've been doing a question a day. And let me tell you, when people go, "Oh, you asked that one already," I've been doing it for 4.5 years. I'm going to repeat myself.
365 times.
So it's, it gets wearing. But anything that we can bring, and like you stated, and you said, was that we do bring industry stuff. There are a lot of the other podcasts, like we do shout outs to because we want to grow. So anybody and everybody that's trying to, we've told people that if you're looking to do it, just do it. Do a podcast. Start it out. You're going to learn in the process. But like you have Smashbox, they tend to do a lot of player interviews, which is awesome because you get to learn about your players that you enjoy and you like watching.
That's why I watch them.
And their mindsets on the event that they just won or whatnot. And then you have Cool Daddy Slick Breeze and Eric McCabe who do theirs, and they are more based with the Trilogy line because that's what they work for.
Right.
So we did more of a roundabout where we're not just doing the players, but we want to bring the back end information to people to let them know, okay, there's this small business coming up. Well, they're going to be a guest host this show.
Right.
That way they can get some exposure, and anything we can do to help somebody else out to get exposure, it just helps everybody.
Helps everybody grow. Right. Yeah.
And I ramble, so.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed by now. Right.
And that's one of the things that we discuss here too. Is we're not going to be a Smashbox or a Jomez. Those guys are like the ESPN of disc golf.
Yep, right, exactly.
We can't compete on that level. We want to tell the backstory for the 95% of people who are just playing. They're just out there having fun. They're learning about things. They're new to the game, and that's kind of where we've always focused. And you guys are kind of like this hybrid in between, which is really cool, where you're doing industry news and updates and you're telling those lifestyle stories, and it's a really cool concept. I do enjoy it. And how long has that show been going on for?
It's
almost 5 years.
Just over 4.5 right now. We've been, and again, shout out to our main sponsors. Final Nine has been supporting us for a long time. They're the ones who run the St. Patrick Open in Orangevale, and a lot of huge names have been to that. Over the past couple of years, it's kind of doing a little bit just because of the other large events that play during the same weekend or around the same weekend. But they've been very supportive of us, and they have a shop in Orangevale and a shop in Rockland. And then like Dude Clothing, very, very cool company that most people who probably watch your show as well know about. Doing their part. Yeah, doing their part to bring like a higher end of line of clothing products to people. And we've talked about that too. You don't want everything you buy to be one level. You want to have those options to be able to maybe buy the nicer shirt for this event that you're going to play. Yeah, you're not going to play your daily rounds in those clothes, but maybe you want to look a little bit better for those bigger events that you're playing in. And just a lot of the companies that have supported us and sent us stuff, Discmania, Trilogy, the littler manufacturers like Mint and Full Turn, and there's so many people that have sent us product that we can review to try to get the word out for people. So anything we can do, we're down.
But littler is not the politically correct term. They prefer smaller now.
Smaller, okay. Smaller manufacturers.
A question.
Up and comers.
A question coming. I was going to build on this question, and you said you when you go out and play, but where is local to you guys? Where are you out playing, and what are some of your favorite courses locally? And then the listener question that came in, how often do you guys get to go out?
Well, Mathias, I play every day. No, I wish I would. I wish I could. Actually, right now it's bad. We get to play about once a month right before the show.
Yeah, before we do the show.
That's how it turns out. Yeah. Life, job, kids. It's my insert excuse here.
It's my kryptonite.
Right, pretty much.
It's not an excuse or a real great reason. It's just a reason.
Right, it's just a reason. I wish we could play more. And we used to play a little bit more, and we need to pick it kind of back up. Yeah. Just kind of like when life happens.
Well, I think also the fact that our kids are getting older, we're going to be able to maybe take them out with us and stuff like that, which we're excited about.
We've started it, and I'll let you know, my son, he's 5 years old. He has never gotten anything less than a hole-in-one. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah.
It's because he runs and throws it in the basket, but still.
Yeah.
But still.
He puts it in from like a foot.
Yeah, but
that's a good record.
Right, exactly.
That's a good record.
Yeah.
He's having fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
As for favorite local course, mine's always going to be Shady. It's
love-hate for me.
But. You know what? I think one of the best things that when I started playing, that was the first course I played, but playing more and more on that course, it has a couple quote-unquote longer holes, but it's technical. So I got more of my technical game down before working into the power shots, and I think that's a huge advantage. Not for me. I'm not fabulous or anything, but for people in general to get that. Once you have your release point, the distance will come.
Yeah.
You know, the longer throws will come. So me, Shady Oaks is always going to be it for me because that's where I learned to throw as well as I do. But, you know.
Rockland course to me, the other course that's out here that we play locally in Northern California, it's the course that has like more wide open holes, so it's a little bit more forgiving, right? Like you mess up and you throw a little bit in the wrong direction, it's forgiving. You can still make par. It's not that big of a deal. Or, you know, it's got those wide open shots where you can like take your broskies out, show them what you got, you know, with your cannon.
Yeah.
Because it's, you don't have to be incredibly accurate. It has some technical holes, but they're few and far in between. But yeah, Shady, it's like I said, for me, love hate, because it's technical. I like that. It makes you slow down and think about your shots, and you get to work on, working on the finesse and different types of shots. I like being able to, every other hole, like mixing it up, and I have to throw an Annie on this one, or I have to try, a sidearm or something. But you mess up, it'll make you pay.
Yeah.
It'll remind you what course you're on pretty quick.
You know what? It may not day law you, but it'll shady you.
It'll shady you for sure. Right? Yeah.
But go ahead.
Did you want to build on that story? Go ahead.
Oh, well, yeah. I was just going to say, talking about how good and bad it can be at that course. One thing I would suggest to anybody is go and watch pros play at an event, because playing ourselves or new people in general, just because you'll see lines that you may not see even if it's your local course. Example being when we saw Simon at the St. Patty's event 2-3 years ago. He's, of course it's Simon, but you'll see the pros. You'll see these pros throw rollers where you didn't think about throwing a roller, or a big hyzer around something that you're thinking about instead of trying to weave it through or whatnot. But
or that little tiny patch between the trees.
Yeah. That you do a huge, crazy anhyzer over a monster oak tree that you can't even see where the basket is. Yeah.
Don't do that.
But I think that's a huge plus for people, a good tactic to try to widen your abilities, just your options for your course. Even if it is your local course and you have every hole down, you're going to learn a new way. Like we just saw last show before we played, there was a hole that's a short, really one of the shorter holes at Shady.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of trees right off the tee pad. And guy that ended up joining up with us threw a tomahawk through it.
Never thought about throwing a tomahawk through there, and like,
I mean, it's a really short hole, so as long as you have something that flips right, it's a great idea, because you don't
have to put a lot on it.
You drop your distance from the width of the disc down to the thickness of the disc.
So
watch other people play.
And doing that show for 5 years, what moments stick out? What are some of your favorite moments or guests you've had on the show?
Oh man, I think the favorite for me is when we, and it's a combination for me. So we had Simon Lizotte on, right? And I like Simon Lizotte. He's an amazing player, really nice guy. And the episode was just entertaining, being able to talk to him and pick his brain, and just talk to him in general was cool. Like, he's a really down to earth guy, right? He's one of the bros, right? But he was at Avery Jenkins' house when he did the interview with us. And Avery's like, "Hey, who are you talking to?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm on this show called The Disc Golf Show." He's like, "Well, can I be on?" We're like, "Tell him yes." Tell him yes. Do it. Right. Yeah. We're like, he's another like disc golfer that I'm like, "Oh yeah, absolutely. I want to talk to that guy. Yeah. He's really cool." And he does all these videos and stuff. I just want to pick his brain. And he's super good. So I think the combination of those two episodes is really cool, just because one was like a little jealous. They wanted to be on the show. I'm like, well, yeah, of course you want to be on the show.
Yeah, and it's like, you're jealous of you want to be on our show?
You want to be on ours?
Are you thinking of a different show?
Right.
I'm not sure.
You should listen to it first.
Yeah, right. One of my favorite, or I would say probably more proud moments, is us being able to do a live show at the St. Jude Invitational, which was, I think, 3 years ago. Yeah. 3 years ago.
That was cool.
It was really shock, and it was like, oh, okay, we have to do it, because Annabelle from St. Jude, she contacted us, and she was asking, hey, and again, like you said, we're not ESPN level for disc golf,
right?
So it was probably a good option for them that we just want to help not only get exposure for the event, but it helped us as well to get some visibility.
Yeah.
But it was really cool just to go out there and meet a lot of the players, see them throw, even if it was just the last couple holes or whatnot.
Right.
But and then the play area where everybody was, and meeting like people like Chris Finn from Dude.
Yeah.
We met him there in person. We'd talked to him, over social media and everything for quite a while. But getting to actually meet him and sit down and in person, and in person's always seems so much better. It's just you get the feel for the person right there. But I think that's it's fun getting people on the show and razzing them too while they're on there on with us. But I think that was a really, really cool moment for me, being asked to do something like that and help really provide some content.
That was really cool for me too. It's a very close second to Simon and Avery because it's one of the, like, you get to do a show. Yeah, we did the show live at this new place, which is cool, and I've never sweat so much in my life trying to set up gear.
Yeah.
Because it was hot.
You know what though? It was really, really felt really good also too is when they came up and you guys got a lot of gear here, and I'm like, it's him.
Like,
it's him.
And this stuff's heavy.
It's not. Yeah, it's not.
This.
Yeah, it's legit like equipment. So.
Yeah, but the other thing too is that stands out for me is we got to see the really good side of the disc golf community. We got to see people come together to raise money for a really good cause. Like, we have this tiny little disc golf show in a little niche section of podcasting. Niche.
Yeah.
Not niche.
Yeah.
Niche. And how much money did we raise?
We actually, which was really cool. We got like $1,200, I think. We ended up raising. Of course, it wasn't like the 25 mark that Paul Macbeth got or whatever. But you know what?
He's on another level.
Our goal when we even started that was like, dude, if we can get like $300 to $500, we'd be happy. That's extra money. It's not a ton, but it's extra. And then we got a couple big donations.
We created that online account. We had like a raffle too, where we asked some disc golf companies, hey, like Fossa was great.
We're like,
hey, can you guys send us some stuff? We just want to raffle it off for St. Jude. We're not going to keep any of it. We're going to put all of it, 100% into St. Jude. Would you send us some stuff to raffle off? Would you mind? And we're thinking, we'd like get a disc or two.
A bag,
or
maybe.
A bag, maybe. Fossa hooked us up. We had like players packs and like it was a legit like little raffle.
Yeah, big shout out to them. Not only is their gear like very affordable.
Yeah, it's good quality.
He's awesome. They're a great company. Very, very supportive.
We also put a couple of donation boxes out at the local pro shops, and people donated quite a bit to that too. So that was really cool. Yeah. I think that part, like, it showed like people are like, oh yeah,
disc golfers. I mean, you may come across a few disc golfers that you're like, but the majority, is very, very supporting and helpful. Yeah, most disc golfers understand the need for support in general, especially when it comes to like raising funds for something like St. Jude.
Well, it's one of the most charitable communities I've ever been a part of. It's incredible how everybody comes together, for any cause. And we were saying before, maybe Ann as an excuse to throw some discs, but I mean, everybody definitely comes together when there's a need. And obviously, this is Ice Bowl season right now, so the Ice Bowl is off, and that's a tremendous asset to the community. And that is because of disc golf, and kind of flip that last question. We talked about your best moments on the show. The opposite of that. Is there ever a time where everything's come crashing down and you think it's the biggest disaster?
Almost every show.
It is. You'd think we've been doing this almost 5 years. We'd have this nailed down. We'd have it to just a science where we come in, flip the switches,
hit one button,
and just go right. Absolutely not. Whether it be a piece of equipment failing, a microphone cutting out, like right in the middle. We had that once.
Oh yeah,
where a microphone just died.
Yeah,
right in the middle of the show. Just
gotta love electronics rule.
Like, that's great. Let me swap that out. You guys get real close and talk on that same mic while I switch it out. Stuff like that, or the companies will upgrade their products.
Oh yeah.
And I'm an idiot. I don't test it out.
Sounds like he might know something.
I don't test out like the new change. I'm like, it can't be that much different, right? And then you figure out it's much different.
Yeah.
And you have to figure out, oh man, we were supposed to go live 5 minutes ago. How do I get this to work again? And it's almost like every show. It's weird. Something will happen. Something will fail.
I think one of mine was the first time Justin beat me on disc golf course.
This is the worst day of my life.
The glory of this moment.
It's like a 50-50 because it's like one of those things where like, dang it, I've been trying to hold him off, and he's come close a few times. And then when he does do it, it's like, dang it, he beat me, but he's learned. He's learned. Which is, and you know what? Mm-hmm. Adding on to the previous question of one of the best things, him watching videos. I've learned, I think, more just from him watching and explaining what he watched, because he went deep. He went hard, and he started doing a lot of research on clinics and stuff like Will Schustrick and Ulibarri and stuff like that. And
that's what she said.
And when he started watching those, he'd come to me and be like, dude, I'd change this. And I'd sit there and I'd listen to him. At the same time, I'm going, do I do that?
Do I do that?
I might do that a little bit. I'm going to have to try to, maybe I'm going to try this. And it's bettered my game just from his research.
And here's the secret is usually I'd bring up technique and form changes right before he drives.
Oh, geez.
So we get right in that head.
Yeah.
Right in that. Like, you know, I think
you're dipping your shoulder.
I was watching Schustrick the other day, and I think you might be doing a little dip. You might want to pay attention to that in your next drive. Good luck.
Yeah, I think one of the, like he stated before, though, one of the worst things is just not. We tend to be a little late on our. We try to start at noon every time, but it tends to, just because of technical difficulties.
He's real nice.
Something funky popping up.
He's real nice. We're always late.
Yeah,
we're always late.
We're pretty much always
late.
And
I hate it.
Yeah, kind of like this today.
Yeah,
we kind of held you back, which we feel bad for.
Sorry.
Oh, no, I mean, Disc Golf Examiner rolled in and just totally destroyed your whole setup just to get on the show.
No. Well, that's the other thing too that affects it is he has other projects that he's working on. He's written some storylines for
it's an
audio dramas and stuff like that. So he's
tear down the entire studio, set it up for that.
And
then by the time we do the podcast, I have to reset
he has all
everything
the shotgun
for this
mics, and us sitting in a circle if you're part of the group doing that scene and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he's got a
bit,
multi-purpose room here. So
yeah, I mean, it's a pretty legit studio you have. I mean, you soundproof the walls and mic quality. You guys have great audio, great voices.
Thank you.
Very distinct. As soon as I hear your voices, I know Disc Golf Show. I can hear it at any time, anywhere. And I know it's you guys.
Brought to you in part by, and then I messed the lineup, so it's
and
distinct.
You go, there's that sweet sound guy Justin, and then the other dude.
No, it's more like this. Listen to that.
The guy who talks too much.
Listen to him stutter. That sounds so.
The guy with the sweet voice and the guy who talks too much. Yeah, I think that's nicknames right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where's the direction that you see the show going? It's certainly evolved over these 5 years, and kind of into the format you have now. But where do you want to take it? Where do you see it going?
I'm gonna say it. We're taking down Smashbox. We're taking down all the big. No,
line them up.
Well, firstly, I think is just upping the frequency.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've been talking about doing that, and again, it comes down to our family, our day jobs, all that good stuff. Normal life that gets in the way.
We just need to do it.
Yeah, we just need to do it, and whether or not how we're going to do it.
Yeah.
We're not sure if we want to do 2 of the same show, or not same show, but same length show, or if we want to split it into different types of, this show has these segments or this. I think it would be best just to do shorter whole versions, basically.
Right.
Shorter versions of what we currently do. Yeah.
Do more.
Yeah. And we can do that. It's just like he said, we just need to actually just
do it.
Just
figure out a way to make it happen. Make it happen.
Whether it's remotely, me staying at the house for one of the shows, every other show or whatnot.
Short term, that's our goal.
Yeah.
Do more.
Yeah.
Do more shows.
Yeah.
We want to add more segments in, especially for our Patreon members. We have this idea, and we have a couple example videos out there, and we have the concept there.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on one more piece of gear that's really expensive. To swap that out to make it happen. But we want to start bringing more content. Content's king, people say, right? And it's true to a certain extent. We want to bring more content to give more to the people that support us. And we just want to do it too. I mean, there's that, more chances to get our hands on discs and throw them and be involved in disc golf. So there's a couple of ideas that we've been throwing around to bring more content. So hopefully here mid to short term, we'll have more content that we're bringing, not just the show, but other things that are supplemental to that we'll offer. And then I think long term, I want to make this into. We just started streaming on Twitch. The whole YouTube stuff is kind of weird right now. So we're reaching out, trying different kind of platforms, see what's going to catch hold. Twitch is mostly for gaming, but they started up a new channel for talk shows. So disc golf's a game, right? Yep. And it's a talk show. So why not?
Show, yeah.
No, why not do it? So we're trying out Twitch, and I really want it to like expand to that big streaming thing, right?
Yeah.
Really embrace that and become
where we could have a studio
exactly
location.
Right.
You know, we use his
right.
spare bedroom here
Yeah.
that he's decked it out like you stated. He's put a lot of money into setting it up.
Goal,
but getting to a point where we can do this and it funds itself.
Yeah.
And we can upgrade the equipment to bring better quality content as well. That's kind of like always the benchmark. Yeah.
Right? That's is just to be able to like go to work and it's the disc golf show. You know, you sit down, you're like, from beautiful Monterey, California. Like that's where our studio. Monterey. I don't know if we discussed this, but we're discussing it now.
Okay,
it's gonna be in Monterey.
Okay,
and just have that studio and like have this big show. That's the dream. That's the goal. That's where we'd love it to go. But we'll see.
Yeah, and we've also had a lot of people ask us about. We do little runs of things here. I did sample run of hats, and we've had when we go out and people see even via our show. Yeah, we did disc golf pins, little pins, but like. We have people ask us, do you guys sell those? And it's like, no, that's another option that we can bring product to people as well. And something that, again, one way to help fund the show, to bring better content, to bring more quality content.
Promote the sport.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody's like, disc golf. What's
disc
golf?
Always wearing my hat. Always have a pin with me.
I
give them away to a lot of people. Just little things that people appreciate. One of the other day, I went to the supermarket and had to go pick up some sliced meat for my wife.
Supermarket.
And, yeah, I know.
You talk like an old man too.
We went there, right? I go there, and the guy behind the counter.
Wonder Bread.
Yeah. Well, I go there. The guy behind the counter goes, "What is that? Is that like a custom hat?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, but it's not. That's not what it's for. We do a show, blah blah blah." And I had a pin in my pocket, and he goes, "Really? Oh, I just moved to the place. Oh yeah, I started playing over at Shady Oaks and blah 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 blah." I'm like, "Sweet dude, check us out. There's a lot of other podcasts out there too, but here's a pin." I just gave it to him, just be like, "Here, dude. That way you don't forget that we talked or whatnot." Right. And it's just trying to grow disc golf in general. Like it's not just us. It's the sport. We want to see disc golf on ESPN every weekend. We want to have that option of being able to go flick on the TV or whatever. Right. By that time, I don't know, YouTube or Netflix or whatever, and be able to watch it live on the show. Yeah, you can go on the YouTube app and stream it via YouTube. You can, go on your Facebook app and stream it to your TV. But it's not at that level production wise. Right. We do have Jomez and Central Coast, and those guys do amazing work. But even they admit they're not at that level. Right. There's always going to be somebody above level that you're trying to reach. You're trying to bump your. They start having their steady cams, and they start having their drones, and they start having all this stuff to do these whole previews. These catching or throwing catch cams, all these things. For multiple holes, ideally that's where you want to get those type of things. So it's just ultimately trying to grow the sport.
And all of that is to say he wants to be an announcer on ESPN.
I think that would be amazing. Yeah, I would not be the first pick.
Right. Long story short,
I would not be the first pick. So
announcer on
it's
ESPN.
Quite all right.
So we're obviously doing a video show. You do primarily an audio show, but you're doing live streaming now. If people want to find you, I know sometimes the great unknown is how do I access a podcast, or what's the best way to find you and to connect?
We have so many ways. Geez. So many ways. If you'd like to leave a comment or if you have something for the show, please contact. Right, yeah, I just spit it all out, right? A couple of different ways. We always stream on our Facebook when we do the show too, once a month. So facebook.com/disc golf show. We're always there. Twitch now, twitch.com, right? Not .tv. Is it .tv?
It's .tv.
It's .tv. .tv /disc golf show.
Everything /disc golf show.
Everything /disc golf show. Twitter. Yeah. At Disc Golf Show.
Facebook,
Right. Yeah.
Instagram. Although we aren't as active on Instagram, we do want to ramp that up again.
All your major podcast aggregates, like if you're listening to a podcast, you can find us on that platform. So if you're listening to iTunes, we're on there. Search for us at Disc Golf Show, Stitcher,
Google Play,
iHeartRadio, Google Play. We're on them all.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Or go to our website.
And our website, yeah.
We're on there too.
Yeah.
DiscGolfShow.com.
Oh, and if you want to leave a message.
Oh, you are going to do it. All right.
Yeah, I'm going to do it because Justin does this all the time. I never get to say this.
See how this feels. Go ahead.
We have a, what is it? Skype number, 916-409-6656.
Boom!
And that number.
Say it one more time.
916.
(916-409-6656). I have it up on the screen for you. Just wanted to make sure I gave the right number. Yeah. Excellent. Anything else you want to cover tonight that we didn't get a chance to? I know. Yeah, if you have your favorite podcast player, you go on there, just search for Disc Golf Show. It'll pop up. You'll know the logo. It's a very distinct logo. How did that look? Did you guys create that logo, or did you have it created for you? All right. Well, I want to thank you guys so much. This was a lot of fun. I've been listening to the podcast for a couple years now. I do enjoy it. It's great content, keeps me up to date, and like I said, you guys definitely have the most distinct voices. Anytime I'm scrolling through anything and I hear it, I know right away. That's the Disc Golf Show. Justin and Nick, thank you so much. I hope we can stay in contact. We can do periodic updates as we. Absolutely, we'll get Brian. Brian had a little bit of emergency, but we'll get him on, and that'll be awesome. We can all hang out and do a show one day. All right, thanks again, everybody. It's Disc Golf Show on Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. It's the Disc Golf Show. They've done a great job getting all the names secured. Disc Golf Show on your favorite podcast app, and anywhere you want to see it, it's the Disc Golf Show. Thanks again, Justin and Nick.